to my island, comfort and warmth sweeten my day. But there on their island, oceans away. Said that if I didn't sing, she wouldn't come. So I just had to do that. First of all, before I begin my sort of formal remarks, which take 11 minutes and 10 seconds, I'd like to thank all the people who sent messages. I was so charmed by Aaron Webb's MP3 ABC thing. I thought that was just lovely. Jim DeFelice mentioned that he and I were in New York in 1982, and we were at a conference, and we actually went to two plays. We went to see Master Harold and the Boys with Matthew Broderick in the role of Harold, and then we went to see Amadeus with the original cast. And it was terrific, and Jim knew how to get cheap tickets. We got tickets for $27 each, which I thought was pretty good, because they were retailing for like $80 or something. So, and he also knew where to get meals. I remember in the hotel, we could go down to the lobby and pay $13.95 and $19.82 for a continental breakfast. Or we could go out the door of the hotel, down the street, around the corner, and across the intersection to this little tiny hole-in-the-wall place where you could get this gigantic breakfast for like $1.99. And he knew about this, so that's what we did. It was wonderful. I'm so pleased and surprised by the Alex Hawkins Book Prize. I think that's a wonderful way to handle some kind of honorific, and that sounds wonderful to me. And I thank David Barnett in particular for thinking of it and helping to organize it. And I thank everybody else who's been involved with it. I'd like to mention that Joni here co-founded Abidam. She and I together founded it. And I don't think either of us would have founded it separately. We just kind of thought it up and took it to Lee Livingston and Alan Welch, who said, sure. And I'd like to also mention that Joan has in fact contributed to my teaching. Each time I teach Drama 383, I have Joan come in for either a 3-day or a 2-day or a 3-day design workshop, which she gives to the students. And there are students here who have had those design workshops. Yeah, and they're very valuable, I think, and they help enhance my teaching of 383. Okay, so then I have some formal remarks here. Okay, first of all, I just want to thank everybody, thank all of you for coming to this wonderful retirement event. I'm so happy to see everybody here tonight. And to have the opportunity to celebrate this occasion with all of you. It's wonderful to see you. First, I wish to thank Kate Weiss and Julie Brown, who about a year ago now first floated the idea for a retirement event with me and asked me some questions about how I saw the event in my imagination. I said that I'd like to have everyone come to the second playing space, which is my favorite space in the department. I believe, David said something about crediting me with this space or something, and I don't understand that because he's the one who should get the credit for this space. But maybe we did it together, I don't know. It's my favorite space in the department. It's where we began Abidam, which then gave rise to New Works, which then gave rise to Quick and Dirty, and also 4857 moved in here, and 483 moved in here, and it became a true BA space. And I think there was some backsliding originally when it was created as to whether it was going to be that. and that's one of the reasons why Joni and I created Abidam. I'm thanking you for coming to share a celebration for a couple of hours with some happy talk, some food and drink, and some cherished memories. And I really cherish all these memories that I've been hearing. I do remember most of them, except what David and I fought about that first year. It really just went away somehow. Second, I wish to thank the committee members who planned and organized and worked on making this event happen. David Barnett, Jane Heather, Joanna Manchur, who will always be Joanna Krupitz to me, and my dear wife and life partner, Joan Hayes Hawkins. Thank you so much for everything you've done in the past few months. In my second year of grad school, I had a large moment of self-doubt about why I was doing all of this PhD business and why did I want to be teaching university anyway. And I really just wanted to quit. It so happened that the chair of the department, who was a wonderful man named Kalman Burnham, was one of my teachers that term. After a class one day, we started a conversation, and I started telling him about how I was feeling. Then he said that he had to go over to Massachusetts Avenue to pick up his car, which was in for repairs that day, and did I want to come along and continue our conversation? So I said yes, and during the next 2 hours, on our very pleasant walk on such a clear and sunny day from the Tufts University campus over to Mass Ave, we talked a lot about why do a PhD program and why get a university teaching job. And he said something life-changing to me. He said that the reason why he had taken his PhD and gone into university teaching was because he wanted to write books. And it was clear that he thought this is why I should want to do it too. And the first thought across my mind was, well, I sure as heck don't want to write books. But then, in the next half second, the question came to me, well, why do I want to go into university teaching? And another half second later, the answer came too, to work with students. I knew that I wanted to become a university teacher so that I could work with students, teach them, direct them in plays, advise them academically, mentor them, help them through their own choices for their lives and their careers. Of course, I didn't say any of this to Cal, but I did thank him for his advice, and I've never looked back. I have two quotes that have stuck in my memory from two very different people. When I was working with New York director Alan Schneider on his biography, he talked frequently about having a belonging space. At that time, he'd been a professional director for about 30 years, working all over the world in professional theaters, educational theaters, regional theaters, very often in far-flung places. Many of his jobs required him to be away from home for weeks, even months at a time. So for him, his need for a belonging place was very great. A home with his family and a theater home where he could spend most of his working life. He always had the former, his home with his family. He rarely had the latter, a theater home. And I think that for any person working in theater, a belonging place is what we all crave. The other quote is from a former student named Jennifer Yates. Anybody remember Jennifer Yates? Yeah. She was a BA student. I've told this story many times over the years. Several years ago, at one of the Department of Drama September orientation days in the Timms lobby, Jennifer had been asked to speak for the BA drama majors about why students should consider the BA program. And in her remarks, she said one of the most important things I've ever heard. She said, quote, "The best thing about the BA program is you find out that you're good at things you didn't know you were good at." And I've quoted that many times to other students over the years. She was talking about what a friend of mine calls emergent learning. That is, you go to university with an idea, sometimes a fixed idea, of what you want to do, of what you want to study, what you want to end up with. And then, as you're going along, getting experiences and taking courses, you unexpectedly, out of the blue, have an experience or you encounter an opportunity that suddenly makes you realize that this new thing, this unexpected, unanticipated thing that emerged from nowhere is what you are really good at and what you really want to do. And Jennifer was right. This is the best thing about our BA program. And it's why I have so enjoyed my work in this department, almost all of which has been working with the BA drama students.